Manhua said 10 billion. Yuanshi calmly and slowly said that if the other party is willing to offer a price, then it would be so much easier to handle. Yuanshi only had a problem with the numbers, but he couldn't offer too much or too little, otherwise he would lose face. Li Yunxiao shook his head repeatedly, saying, Jean, sect master, you're not being serious. The sect's treasure is worth so little. 10 billion. The Hall Master's Thunder God 20 billion spirit stones. I'll buy it from you. That's not good enough. Lin quickly laughed loudly. Don't mention 20 billion, even 200 billion. I buy it. Of course, he understood Li Yunxiao's intentions. It's simply a cunning ploy. A little help here and there is also his preference, so he quickly offered assistance. Zilin Chishu, you're quite good. The glint in Zhang Langhua's eyes revealed a fierce light. He stared intently at Zilin, full of intimidation. Zilin coldly snorted. Although he didn't want to offend Zhang Langhua, he weighed positions of both sides. Of course I have to side with Li Yunxiao. Used his identity as the chairman of the Lei Foam Trading Company. Zhang Lang absolutely wouldn't dare take his life. But Li Yunxiao is different. Without Li Yunxiao's promise, I fear Mo Shaoxian would have killed him already. Sect Master Zhang, you shouldn't be so. You're too sly, using such a low price to buy my thunderclap. I understand your determination, but wanting to buy turnips with money and get gold in return, that won't work. There's nothing different about your offer. I insist on a fair price. Someone like you quoting such a price shows a complete lack of sincerity. Even a merchant like myself can see through you. Lin slowly, stop acting so heartbroken. That's enough. Then Zhang Langhua angrily opened her mouth wide, fire of anger burning in her heart. She stared intently at Li Yunxiao and said, I'll use a method to transform the Thunder God. If young Master Yun feels he can do it, then take it. She flipped her hand, revealing a small, precious box. She looked at it intently. His eyes were full of sorrow. He still gritted his teeth and gout Li Yunxiao's curiosity could make Zhang Linghua miss him so much. What is this thing? Mo Shaoxian was very afraid that Zhang Linghua would play tricks and rush forward to grab. Currently, Li Yunxiao's annoy is the top priority. He absolutely mustn't. When Master Lin was in danger, Mo Shaoxian took it in his hand, opened the small box, and looked inside. Only then did he give it to Li Yunxiao. The action, in the eyes of others, everyone was shocked. As powerful as the martial emperor, was no different from a mere treasure to that young man. If it were the treasure of Master Mo Huayuan, everyone would understand. Many martial emperors would gladly dedicate their strength to the 8th rank alchemist. But as for Li Yunxiao, his background is too powerful. There's no other explanation. Zhang Linghua's face was as dark as ink. Shaoxian checked this. There's no doubt. It's clearly a slight against him. He angrily clenched his fist. He clenched his hands, his knuckles cracking one after another. The sound echoed, but his situation was weaker than his opponent's. He had no choice to bow his head. Li Yunxiao accepted the small box from Mo Xiaoshuan's hand. His pupils suddenly constricted. He saw, inside the small box, a small, green mass emitting an overbearing spiritual energy, a lustrous, jade-like glow. Li Yunxiao was startled and exclaimed, the wood aura is very strong. Its qi is close to this primordial essence. Must be a wood attribute treasure. Sect Master Zhang, if you keep it and use it to cultivate the Thunder God tree, would certainly be a real boon. Unexpectedly, you passed up such a precious thing, giving it to Zhang Langhua. Coldly speaking, this is because the Beihe sect back then planted many Qingxin Danmu trees. Originally, it was because of cultivation of the Thunder God's decree that it was sown, but after the God's decree was lost, Tan Tom Dan Mok was also destroyed, and the method of sowing it was also lost. Today, in the warehouse, there are only this many blocks left in Yun's hands. What's lacking is the Tan Tom Dan Mok, and there isn't much left. Although the weight isn't much, but its value is certain with knowledge. Even Van, lacking knowledge, understands in her heart. Van was extremely terrified and fearfully said, such a large amount of this at Mok Tai Northern Sea, as strong as this would elemental origin, is close to the primordial source, though it's still inferior to the true phoenix fire 10th grade existence, but it can be compared to a 9th grade one. Even with heaven grade materials, a 9th grade item, which doesn't gather the spiritual energy of heaven and earth, cannot be cultivated. It's fundamentally impossible. Throughout history, many alchemists have tried to cultivate it themselves. None have succeeded. None have succeeded without failure. Zhang Linghua seems to have found a glimmer of power. He arrogantly declared it at the time of the northern set. The 7 major forces on the mainland couldn't keep up with. How could you know? The details of Li Yun's careful handling of Qing Xi and the wooden musical instruments inconvenient to make things difficult. Zhang Linghua said, this Imu blah I want. Before, I helped your senior brother kill Elder Foam, and I also obtained treasure map. All of these things, if it weren't for the sect master's orders, my junior brother wouldn't have promised me. Until now, I haven't seen a single piece of high-grade spirit stone. Sect Master Zhang actually used 10 billion mid-grade spirit stones for this is your responsibility, Li Yunxiao, using the Thunder God statue as a bargaining chip. Everyone's eyes lit up. Zhang Lenghua's pupils suddenly constricted. My heart pounded. Distance felt like a thunderbolt. I was almost beside myself. Even he. It was hard to suppress my rising excitement, but remembering what Li Yunxiao said, I still restrained my anger. Yunxiao said, don't push it too far. If you even offered him the treasure map, it wouldn't matter. Not even the assassination money that Feng elder demanded would matter. You did that. My disciples look at me like that. I've already released Tan Di Ju, and what's more, promoted him to vice sect master. That's already caused quite a bit of discontent. Mak Xiao Xian coldly snorted. Buying and selling is a matter of mutual consent. Lei Shen's fate is in Yunxiao's hands. He wants to sell him, then he sells him. If you don't, we can probably forego the lavish offers, but we shouldn't delay our departure. We still need to teleport to the Wu city. Zhang Lenghua felt a sense of powerlessness. With such powerful martial artists sitting here, Li Yunxiao's situation wasn't simple. Seeing the Mo Huayuan group following closely behind, Li Yunxiao's back seemed to be struck by heavenly thunder. The more he hit it, the more his heart was filled with fear. He spoke hesitantly. Master Mo, you also want to leave Manhua city? Mo Huayuan nodded. That's right. For the past 5 years, I've greatly appreciated Sect Master Zhang's care regarding my affairs in Manhua city. I've finished my business and want to return to Xingwu Prefecture. My tutor just befriended Tang and went with young Master Yun. He also said that Zhang, Sect Master, if you master the lightning god's say treasure of your sect, invaluable and naturally beyond measure. Sect Master has already obtained a 9th grade Eanwood elixir, so why would you care about a few mid-grade origin stones? Those origin stones, young Master Yun doesn't laugh, but the lightning god's the Sect Master must definitely have something to do with. It seems Sect Master Zhang doesn't have much room bargaining. Mo Huayuan in Chengnan for several years. The Northern Dipper sect naturally treated him like a VIP, offering a great deal of assistance. He's grateful, no doubt, but facing Li Yunxiao, that mysterious young man, is even more unpredictable. Big Brother's life was saved by him. Of course, he's biased towards him. Zhang Lenghua also heard bias in that and is even more wary of Li Yunxiao's identity. We can only concede he's settled then, if Master Mo says the same. If we continue to haggle over 10 billion yuan stone, it will be unclear. On the contrary, Zhang Lenghua's stinginess is exposed. He coldly snorted. Yunxiao, this time, considering your face and Master Mo's request, you want him to throw a bag full of spirit stones? Everyone knows that would fly in the face of every. He's seeking his own demise, but no one dares to mock or ridicule him. Strong individuals speak amongst themselves. They fundamentally, he's unqualified to attend. He's also Mo Xiao Xian received his father's belongings. No problem. The handover is only now. This made Li Yunxiao and Zhang Lenghua furious, but he quickly obtained inherited Thunder God's decree. All his gloom was swept away. His face full of emotion. He almost laughed. Lin and his beloved guild are full of worry. Zhang Lang has achieved divine might. Adding the resources of Beta sect, their strength will quickly rise to new heights. Without power intervention in Manhua city, I fear the guild, after hundreds of years, will be suppressed by their opponents. Time is running out. Sir Van, please enter the formation. Even though Lin is an old fox, he's extremely dissatisfied with this deal, but he won't show it to Li Yunxiao. He still smiles sincerely, full of flattery. Everyone is about to go to the formation when suddenly Mai Dongni from the northern Do zone calls out, Sir Van, I also want to go to Qinggu Feng. Can you take me there? Li Yunxiao, Donger, you're going to Qinggu Feng? What's the matter? Stay and cultivate in Beidu zone. You need to reach a very high level before you can do what you should do. Donger's face read out to explain when Ha Yingdong also stepped forward to explain for her. Miss Dongni is missing from her home in Tanvu Feng. She left home many years ago, and this time she's returning. And she's already informed me if she were to return home alone, I wouldn't feel at ease. I originally wanted to escort her myself, but if she can travel with young Master Yun, there's nothing to worry about. Seems that's the case. There's nothing to worry about. Let's go then. Li Yun responded. Mai Dongni, overjoyed, went along. Enter the formation and stand with everyone else. Xian needs to stand outside formation and sense. Feeling the dull ache, she knew she was jealously seething. She silently blamed herself. She said, you foolish girl, Yunxiao is a person of such high standing. Being able to interact with him is a lifelong destiny. You want too much. What about peace and stability? Focus on your business. Your chamber of commerce is gone. Though she consoles herself, she still can't help but feel lost. Even her nose is stinging. She's so heartbroken. Yun gave me this sachet. Inside are Zhenlongxiang and Tiankai Dibao, ground into powder and made into a sachet. Furthermore, it contains more than 30 types of fragrances blended by Yun. Carrying something for protection protection against evil is very beneficial cultivation. Xian doesn't know where she got courage from. She took the sachet from her waist and entered the battle. Li Yunxiao was slightly stunned by her actions. He chuckled and said, "Thank you. If we meet again, I look forward to farewell." Xian, touching his hand, her cheeks flushed. Her heart's a little more comfortable hearing from you. Saying we'll meet again makes me uncomfortable. Wiping away tears, she said, "I hope we don't have to wait too long to meet again. I've been waiting good news from young Master Yun since the Song Dynasty." Yu Yang related to Li Yunxiao held a fragrant sachet. Scent filled the formation. Everyone felt relaxed. Zilin smiled and said, "We need to convene. The leader has such intentions. Young Master Yun, I intend to understand the grand formation's activation. I respectfully request to return. Everyone here are all experienced elders. Naturally, they understand that Can Huin has feelings for Li Yunxiao." Smiled. Can Huin's eyes were red. She bowed her head. The formation was controlled by Lin, quickly firing beams of light. Above in the sky, there are 5 colored clouds. The group of Li Yunxiao became blurred. In the formation, final group of people disappeared where Li Yunxiao had just been. Everyone breathed a sigh of relief, but they seemed to feel a cold wind blowing towards them. They saw Zhang Langhua's face, icy cold, staring intently at Lin. Gloomily said, "Headmaster, you just talked nonsense." Lin gently bit her lip, trying to suppress the pressure. Zhang Langhua said, "Sect Master Zhang was just speaking from the heart. Now, you and young Master Yun have achieved everything necessary. Everyone is happy. Isn't that very good?" Good. For that one sentence. Everyone is happy. Zhang Langhua is collecting his energy. So, I was indifferent before, but now I don't bother arguing with you about the mineral vein is located in the death zone. Such a dangerous place. Your abilities are limited, and for so many years no one has dared to approach it. The Beidou sect will take on this task. What? Lin was so angry his face. "Master Zhang, you're overstepping your authority. Don't mention the influence of the Chamber of Commerce. We don't agree, even if it's the Heavenly sect or the Xianu sect. They wouldn't agree either." Zhang Langhua smiled and said, "That's enough. Guild leader, don't worry about the wind and rain or Xiao Minghui. I'll discuss it with them." This time, coming to Chengnan to eliminate the fire. The transaction with Master Li Yun went smoothly. Inform the guild master immediately. Lin and the Chamber of Commerce are furious, but under the imperial might of Zhang Langhua, they can barely move. Zhang Langhua said indifferently, "I informed you all to keep you under my watchful eye. The death zone has become a forbidden area for you. Northern Dou sect. If anyone dares to break in and kill, no one from the Northern Dou sect will be spared." Ha ha ha. Zhang Langhua led them, transforming into a beam of light and left, leaving only his loud laugh. Can Xian looked at everyone's expressions, and only felt a dull emptiness in her heart. It seemed as if something was missing, a feeling of emptiness. Standing by the transmission array drum, she sighed, knowing full well that the Southern Fire was about to enter a chaotic period. Just like hundreds of years ago, perhaps the Southern Fire, this sweet cake of fire, wouldn't reach the Ziyun Trading Company. Her entire focus now was on reclaiming the mark she'd lost, and then meeting the person she wanted to see. Meeting Li Yunxiao, she felt the space. A distant passageway transforms around me. An endless expanse appears, invisible to the eye, inaudible to the ear, perceptible only to the senses. It feels as if I'm hurtling forward at great speed, incredibly fast. A beam of light flashes, reaching the black void. Everything is opened up. Everyone is flung outwards, away from the ground. Not very high, though. We're all standing firm on the ground. Only little Xian remains. Someone cried out in pain and fell face first. The pain was unbearable, but no one cared about him. Quickly got up on his own, dusting himself off. Several people landed in a clearing for him. There was an old man who, he looked at everyone, clasped his hands, and said with a smile, "Welcome, friends. I am the head of the Lei Feng Trading Guild's branch, established in Chengwu Feng." The main branch had already received news of the Zilin Guild. The head said that a friend from the Lei Feng Trade Guild was about to send a message here to tell me to welcome them. His gaze swept across the crowd, and he didn't detect anything unusual. But when his eyes fell on Emo Xiao, that powerful, transmigrating inner turmoil, it's a bottomless vortex of divine consciousness. Once his consciousness enters, he's swallowed and terrified, to the point where he doesn't dare to do it again. Li Yunxiao casually glanced at Kuei Zheng, whose cultivation was only martial venerable, 7 stars lower than even Lin Zhe, more than 2 stars lower. He found something strange here. This already belonged to the northern region city. Wu Feng's scale and complexity far surpass. Logically, perhaps the Chengnan Hua should be dispatched. Only the strongest of the strong are worth. That's why the guild leader's strength is inferior to the Chengnan Hua guild leader, Hua Yuan. He seems to have seen through Li Yun's thoughts. Xiao Si voice transmitted, "Young Master Yun, Chengnan Hua has superfluous Nam Hoa Kim Tin. That mine is the source source of the Lei Feng Trading Company's vital economy, so it needs powerful person to garrison. Cheng Wu Feng's forces are complex. They don't offer much economic benefit, so the person garrisoning it doesn't need to be that strong. That's how it is. Li Yunxiao felt distribution of forces within the trading company was indeed different. Power distribution of the trading company is truly different. With other powers, they see us as a source of profit, not as great or small strongholds. You've traveled far. It's been a hardship. Why not rest at the Chamber of Commerce for a while? Hua Cheng smiled and looked at Mo Xiao Xian, saying with a chuckle, this one is naturally the young Master Yun from the Chamber of Commerce's news. He only knows young Master Yun. The current leader's assessment of Mo Xiao's abilities is quite accurate. It matches what Zai Lin said. Pity that you, as the chairman, misjudged him. Xiao Hui coldly snorted. That's not right. The one with greatest strength is young Master Yun. Look here. Who's the most handsome? That person is young Master Yun. He's all the way. Everyone observed Li Yun's expression. Xiao wanted to erase the bad impression in the other person's heart, but he didn't have the chance. This time, he finally seized the opportunity to gain reputation. He used the technique flattering Chao Ming. After saying it, his heart felt relieved and secretly pleased. This sentence resolved the awkward situation. Otherwise, he would have wrongly accused someone. It must be said that young Master Van is quite handsome. He looked at little Xian with resentment, his eyes darting over to Lai Van Tu and Mo Huayuan. Mo Huayuan vaguely possessed a master's bearing, making him even more shocked the more he looked. He silently exclaimed to himself that he had misjudged Mo Huayuan. He was definitely not an ordinary person. As for Lai Van Tu, he looks perfectly normal, just a martial arts expert, an 8.5-star cultivate. That kind of character, he wouldn't even glance at him. But after running the shop for so many years, he naturally developed the skill to judge. Mo Xiaoshuan's strength is undeniable, and Mo Huayuan is definitely not ordinary. It seems as if two people are secretly standing beside them. He made a mistake attacking him, but there was only one person. His daughter, Mai Dongni, was like a young bird nestled behind him. Even Xiao Xian's gaze, whether intentional or unintentional, couldn't hide the apprehensive look on her face. Could it be that this person was someone he secretly feared? He silently blamed himself. Zai Lin hadn't explained clearly who Yunxiao was. He looked at her appearance. He's the most handsome among them, so be careful. Try asking young Master Yun. This is him. Li Yunxiao saw his unsettled appearance and burst into laughter. He said, Guild Master Qua, you're too kind. It's troubling the Lei Feng Trading Company, but we appreciate your help. There's no need to rest. We also don't need to be troubled. Take us to the Song Dynasty's grand formation has crossed the temporal chasm. It's inconvenient to explain now. I'll just keep it in my heart. Hui Zheng let out a sigh of relief. This time, finally, Kong didn't misunderstand him. He smiled bitterly and said, the guild leader sent a message clearly stating that Yun Xiao wants to go to Songhua City Yan. But unfortunately, the Song Dynasty's grand formation crossing the chasm at Wufeng City has been. What did they destroy yesterday? Several people were startled. Li Yun's expression changed. It's unsightly to talk about being destroyed. How long will it take to heal the injuries and recover martial arts skills? Competition is almost upon us. There's no more time to delay. Hui Zhi said that two groups of people are fighting over the order of use of the Song Dynasty's transmission. The battle resulted in the destruction of more than half the city. Currently, all the major forces of Chengwu Feng are increasing repairs. The situation is unknown. However, the city has gathered many martial artists, requiring reinforcements. The population has increased by half. Li Yunxiao said. Second, it's unclear whether Chengwu Feng can handle the increased traffic. So many Song loyalists in just a few days. They've amassed so many people. President Qua, can you investigate progress of the repairs? Everyone, please wait a moment. I'll have someone look into it. Meanwhile, why don't you all rest for a bit? It's quite chaotic outside. Everywhere you look, there are reckless martial artists. A single disagreement could easily fighting within the Chamber of Commerce is safe. I'll secretly summon a few maids. I'll take Li Yunxiao there myself. His study is quite spacious. At the same time, I'll send warriors to investigate treatment and the Song Dynasty's Lei Feng Chamber of Commerce preparations. His study is extremely luxurious and exquisite. These must all have been prepared by Lin beforehand. Furthermore, there's even a secret room in the bedroom. The secret room is quite spacious too, and neatly arranged are 100,000 high-quality spirit stones. Everything is very thoughtfully considered, but this small amount of spirit stones is a bit underwhelming to Li Yunxiao right now. However, even a small amount is still something. He didn't stand on ceremony, waving his hand. He offered 100,000 mid-grade spirit stones. He went to begin cultivation in the secret chamber. A faint fragrance entered his nostrils, calming his spirit. Li Yunxiao took out the sachet that Xian had given him. It was originally calming object. Now it was disturbing his mind, causing he couldn't calm down to cultivate. There's the matter of activating the Song Dynasty formation. If he's late, it'll be too late. That would be equivalent to sending Ding Linger to her death. This is something he could never accept. Thinking this, Li Yun walked out of his room, deciding to investigate himself. After all, he is a 9th rank alchemist. The master's cultivation will be further enhanced with the Han medicinal pellet. Together with Mo Huayuan here for treat, it will definitely increase much faster. The Lei Feng Trading Company's status in the city is far inferior to the southern city fire. Basically, it's just a minor force. Trading company's location is not in the city center, rather in a corner. Anyway, Chengwu Feng isn't in the west. It's not a priority chamber of commerce to arbitrarily set up a branch. Li Yunxiao went outside and saw my Dongni walking on the road. More than familiar streets. Li Yunxiao was suddenly in high spirits and followed behind. He saw my Dongni pass through several. Sai walked into a bustling tavern. Inside, she looked up. She went straight in. A few breaths later, Li Yunxiao also arrived below the tavern, seeing above a signboard on which were written 4 characters. Han Hu Mai Hung, Han Hu Mai Hung. Li Yunxiao understood the meaning and gently smiled, following her in. It was possible to open the tavern. Been a long time in the bustling streets of this Chengwu Feng. The setting is absolutely not simple. Chengwu Feng gathers many martial artists. Indeed, that's right. Inside the tavern, all 3 floors are full. There isn't a single seat left. But what surprises Li Yunxiao is that he doesn't see my Dong's figure, unless she used a C technique to lead. But in front of Li Yunxiao, this is impossible. There's no way he could do this. There's only one explanation. My Dongni must have known this person and went to the kitchen. He was about to go toward kitchen. When he reached the door, his pupils constricted. He retreated. There was a roar from inside, followed by flash of a blade. Huang flew out cleanly past Li. Van directly collided with the wall. Tavern immediately broke a hole at that moment. At this time, the noisy tavern fell silent. Everyone looked over. Although everyone was startled, no one was afraid. They were all martial artists with cultivation. They were all people who had waited here for several days. The great song formation is repaired. Path is clear. That blade's light was power, not yet enough to frighten them. At this moment, a cold shout came from the kitchen. The old woman said, "You are unworthy." Immediately after came the sound of 2 people fighting. Then figure flew backward from within into the air. Fresh blood sprayed out. Obviously, the injured party lost. Suddenly, Dongzi Li Yunxiao shrank back. He stepped forward and embraced that small, shadowy figure. Yunxiao. That shadowy figure cried out in surprise. An incredulous gasp. Looking over at Li Yunxiao, it was indeed my Dongni. She seemed unconcerned about her own injuries. Instead, she anxiously said, Why are you here?" Li Yunxiao. "Let go of her. I saw you on the road and came to see what was happening. I was just curious. Seems someone injured you." The old woman inside seems very aggressive. "I need to help." "No." My Donger's waist was grabbed by him. Her face is flushed. She's shaking her head continuously. "I don't want this to be your business. I will handle it myself in the kitchen." It was the old woman's furious shout. She yelled, "You uncultured thing. Go learn how to find a real man. You're naturally flirtatious. Take your man and get out of here. Otherwise, don't blame me if I kill you both." Hearing this, my Dongni felt ashamed and angry. He stamped his feet in anger, glaring at the people inside. He looked at them, wishing he killed. His eyes were filled with hate. Li Yunxiao carried cold, sharp glint. He stared intensely into Chen and said, "Cold laugh. If you don't seek your own death, you won't die." He left my Dongni to stride into the kitchen. My Dongni worriedly wanted to go and stop them. Suddenly, a gust of wind blew, and a man wearing a silver brocade robe appeared for her. My Dongni raised her hands to stop, revealing a lecherous expression, grinning and saying to her, "You arrived just in time." As this man in the brocade robe here for martial artists appeared in the kitchen, surrounding my Dong. I see lust in everyone's eyes. My gaze keeps returning to her face. My Dongni's face pales, and she sternly shouts, "Who are you?" "Heh, we. Who are we? You'll find out soon enough." The man in the brocade robe grins and says, "In Chengwu Feng these past few days, we not found any good goods. Today, finally, I've met someone beautiful. Top quality beauty that I can use for a while." His hand caressed Mai's face. Dong Mi and the 4 other men's bestial nature erupted in insane laughter, their eyes blazing with an aura that seemed to follow the man. After he finished with the brocade robe, they too could go and enjoy the unfortunate my Dong Ni. Shame. Palm strike repelled the man's hand. She also saw through this person's strength. That femme dared not underestimate. Her skill is the legacy of Li Yunxiao. A gentle mist enveloped her body. Her body seemed to transform into hidden water, contained the true meaning of martial arts she displayed at the sex last competition. This was the skill she showcased. I understood its power, and the next day, I diligently cultivated this superior technique. I devoted myself cultivating this superior technique. Day by day, I made progress, and at this moment, when I use it, it's as smooth as flowing water and drifting clouds. It's impeccable. This young man, the lustful expression on his face froze. He didn't expect the woman before him to strike so ruthless. It was so ruthless, and he wasn't prepared for it. Mac was enveloped by the opponent's overwhelming power. Even though he was a realm higher than his opponent, his strength was insufficient. It was difficult to stop them. He desperately tried to block Crimson-robed man and 4 others, who were shouting loudly and violently, unleashing their auras. All 5 were martial masters. In the crimson-robed man's hand, a dagger appeared, unusually sharp and lethal, slicing through. My Dong Ni's powerful attack was broke, but reluctantly, the law entangled. News feelings endlessly broke through. Breaking breaking through the 4 others' hasty, strong attack, wanting to surround Wei to rescue Zhao, but was stopped by Nu's Qi using the martial emperor's power. They couldn't break through pressure of the 4's power. Terrified, they hastily grit your teeth and endure it. Otherwise, Cam family will face a lot of trouble. Their trouble will be enormous. Li Yunxiao just wanted to go into the kitchen when he saw this scene. He frowned. This move of my Dong Ni's has incredible power. The strength is unexpected. Furthermore, this move consumes a great deal of energy. It's very difficult for her to use it again so soon. Secondly, Li Yun silently shook his head and pointed his index finger. Zhao unleashed a powerful force, broke through the air. It flew instant, striking a man between the eyebrows. A bloody hole appeared on the martial artist's forehead. His pupils immediately dissipated and he collapsed. From behind, a force shattered the leaders. The momentum of my Dong Ni and the 3 others changed. Their faces filled with fear. They retracted their power. Everyone protects themselves, feeling uneasy. At this moment, the man in brocade admits the greater pressure, the more he's immediately attacked by the sect leader. His defenses are broken and he's hit, spitting fresh blood. He flies straight into the kitchen. Li Yun sees this man flying towards him without the slightest hesitation, kicks out with a loud bang. Like a kickball, he flies into the hall. Everyone. The surrounding area was deserted, leaving only a patch of empty land. Yet, when the man in the brocade robe fell to the ground remained undisturbed. It seemed he had already died. My Dong Ni looked at the corpse. Lying there, between his eyebrows was a bloody hole. She instantly knew that Li Yunxiao had done it. At that moment, she looked at the young master with grateful expression. The 3 remaining martial artists were shocked and quickly reacted. Let's go check immediately. Someone's panicked. Screaming in terror, they said, the young master is dead. The young master is dead. The 3 of them were extremely shocked. Their young master's body, 1,000 gold, absolutely wouldn't die like this. The people in the tavern looked strangely and fearfully. The 3 martial emperor cultivators began to tremble. One of them trembled. You dare kill our men. You will all die. You're as good as dead, Li Yunxiao said indifferent. Isn't death just death? Many die every day. What's the difference between you and a dog? Where do you think you're going? Do you know who our young master is? Do you know who his father is? The martial artist's face. This tragic news. It's not just that you'll be annihilated. Your entire clan will be destroyed. We're all implicated because of Li Yunxiao said. He must be a very high-standing young master. Your family is the head of Transformation God headquarters, or one of the 3 great masters of the sacred realm. Don't be so quick with your loose tongue. You've already brought about a great calamity. It's overwhelming. Let's wait for the extermination clan. This martial artist. This barely contained anger. Thinking about myself being caught in the crossfire. I hate that I couldn't kill him to death, but from the exchange it's clear I'm no match for him. At this moment, everyone is unconscious. Many people's faces change. Fear shown. They say, King, Dad is dead. How is that possible? It seems the man. This brocade robe has quite a history. Guests. People in the hall are extremely frightened. Many people are starting to flee in panic, afraid of being implicated with Master Da. It was you who killed him in the kitchen. The old woman's voice rang out, mixed with fear. She coldly said, My Dong Ni, you are a cursed child bringing disaster. Get your family out of Hanyu immediately. My home. Cease operations immediately. Stop all business until this storm settles. We will not continue business after. The old woman's voice rang out. The innkeeper's face tense. He began to shoo away the guests and tidy up the inn, preparing for the business closure. Those 3 martial artists embraced. Wang Da's corpse left indignant. Even as he was leaving, he didn't get to leave a parting shot. He said, Han Yu, my Xiang, you don't expect to escape involvement. Wait for the flames of my wrath. As he left, the corpse of that dead martial artist was abandoned, left uncared for. My Dong Ni looked into the kitchen and said, if Granny Qi doesn't let me in, I'll leave, but I'll wait until I can defeat that old woman. I absolutely must return. The old woman's voice transmitted outward, ice cold to the bone. She softly said that people of the Jiu Huin sect had said that we're involved. You all shouldn't leave yet. Stay. Wait a moment. I'll discuss it with Jiu Huin sect. Better that way. My Dong Ni's face was pale and gasped. She said, Madam, you must hand me over to someone to deal with what just happened. Madam, you also clearly see that the other party was being disrespected. Before the incurred a black staff here. Then, an old woman with a hunched back and frail strength came out. Her face was incredibly ugly. Her eyes, born from Hao Guang, Lenglu softly said, although they were wrong, you shouldn't have killed them. Furthermore, the Diaoxian sect is a powerful presence, so my family can't afford to offend them. I myself naturally have to get you out of here to settle this. It will reduce a lot of trouble. My Dong Ni laughed bitterly and said, no matter what, I am still a member of my family. Clan will deal with. What a family. Truly, what it means to be human. Tomorrow, family will be disappointed and suffer. Then, I ask you, how will Jiu Di rule in the future? The 3 ladies coldly snored. This conversation will end quickly. Jiu Huin, I predict won't be long until that time. At that moment, hand over those 2 people. That should be enough. It certainly won't be a waste. I don't have much time in the clan. How can I know? Of course, I will return and only report to Jiu Di. At this time, Li Yunxiao muttered, so it's from the Diao Xuan zone. No wonder they're so arrogant like that. It's indeed a bit troublesome. My Dong Ni sadly said, the Diao Xuanzong is very powerful. She seems to have heard of them before. This sect doesn't have many imprints of Li Yunxiao in her thoughts. She is an unfathomable existence. It's unlikely that even he could say it's troublesome. A shadow immediately arose in her heart. Her life and death are nothing to her. She's only afraid of implicating him. The third wife coldly laughed and said, "You're a fool to cultivate in the Northern Do sect. So what? Even the Ju Huin sect doesn't know, but it doesn't matter. Your lives won't last much longer anyway. No need to know the details." Thus, my Dongni hurriedly pushed Li Yunxiao outside, hurriedly saying, "Yunxiao, go quickly. This is all my doing. It has nothing to do with you." The old woman coldly snorted. Several figures blocked doorway. A powerful, cold aura emanated from them. Glancing at two, Li Yunxiao patted her shoulder and chuckled. "I said the trouble is precisely that the Miaohuan sect has caused trouble by attack Dongni and the others. They caused a huge disturbance." "Right, so true. Heaven knows. The vast earth. I don't know how to write the word death like that." The three ladies show no restraint, raising their loud laugh. In their laughter, an icy coldness reveals itself. They say the Ju Huin sect is not equal to the seven powerful forces that dominate the entire Tianwu continent, but their overall strength is still the strongest in the northern region. They also have their illustrious reputation and power can rank them in the top 10 of the northern region. Furthermore, they are the most licentious sect in the northern region. Any female disciple of the Miaohuan sect that they fancy, basically no one can escape. Even the concubines of the northern Ming Xian palace were seized by sect master Wang Zhen. And you all, the one who was killed was his own younger brother Wang De. Do you think you still have a chance to live? In her eyes, you were born a monster. With a cruel and merciless smile, she said, "My Dongni, as for you, your fate is even worse. Using your beauty to fall into Wang Du's hands, you will undoubtedly suffer endless torture, a living hell." Her words carried. What cruel and cold thing did he do? My Dongni, the one who slammed the door. Several martial artists guarding the tavern were smashed. Before they could react, they cried out in agony. Bodies exploded. Chilling aura spread. More than 10 people entered the tavern. Madam Oh good. Those martial artists were horrified. Their mouths agape. They were her subordinates. Unexpectedly, they die right here. Even a whole corpse wouldn't be left behind. More than 10 people are guarding the exit. The man in the long green robe has a sullen expression. He leads the way, his long hair flowing. Behind him, his whole body exudes an aura of chilling coldness. Behind the man, the martial arts master, are two elderly men, their faces unyielding, their imposing aura emanating invisible. So it's like that, yet the leader isn't inferior. Not at all. As for the remaining 10 people, they're a bit inferior, a large margin, but they're all strong. Fake martial emperor aura. Their presence is oppressive. Furthermore, each person reveals an evil aura.